Good boy. Bye, buddy.
While most of the dogs that visit Second Chance Animal Rescue are happy to walk around the block, some need a little push.
Oh, no. Wheel malfunction.
But it's not because this little guy is lazy.
Homer's got two very bowed front legs. It looks very painful, but it doesn't seem to bother him. He can still walk, and he will even run if I throw a rope or a ball, which is amazing. We need to see if there's any way we can relieve his discomfort.
One goal is to reduce his weight to help take some pressure off his legs.
Because at the moment, he weighs 11 kilos, which is way too much for him. He's already lost a little bit, so we're really happy with him.
Oh, little guy. All right, let's go.
His foster mum, Cadence, isn't the only one who's fallen for Homer's charms.
Homer is a very cute little dude. He always puts a smile on my face when he comes into the building. Yeah, little things to check today, mate. I was tempted to take him home myself at one stage, but alas, he doesn't like cats so much. Or maybe he does like cats, but he likes running after cats, so my little ones wouldn't have appreciated that.
Kylie the vet has measured him for some braces, which he hopes will help support his crooked front legs.
Good boy. As you see, when he walks, the wrists bend down quite a long way. Hopefully, the braces will just stop them from bending down so far and give the joint some support.
The vet team have also been helping Homer through other health problems.
When Homer first came into our care, he had an E. coli urinary tract infection. We also noted at that time he had some changes in his liver on his blood test. We cleared up the infection with a course of antibiotics, but we did some further blood tests and it showed that his liver enzymes had actually worsened.
Today, Kylie is hoping to get a clearer picture of what's going on inside Homer with help from a mobile ultrasound team.
We're mainly interested in looking at his liver to check for any lumps or bumps, and also his adrenal glands, his kidneys and bladder as well, to make sure there's no sign of any growths or stones or anything like that.
As Homer waits for his ultrasound, Marisa is out on the road responding to an emergency.
We received a call from a lady in need this morning that is escaping from a domestic violence situation at home, and she needs to get out with her young child straight away. She's got 2 dogs and she has nowhere for them to go.
Refuges set up to accommodate people fleeing from domestic violence don't currently take animals, which creates a huge dilemma for pet owners.
We've dealt with so many victims that have stayed in relationships because they're worried about what's going to happen with their pets if they leave them behind, and it's just heartbreaking. Look, this is an issue that is close to my heart, and as a mother of 3, knowing that this woman needs to get out of this situation with her child, it hits me even harder. So if we can help, we 100% will. If we can take these dogs in, she'll be leaving them in our care and she'll be escaping today. I've just got goosebumps even saying that, to be honest. It's pretty full on.
It's imperative not to alert the woman's abuser to her plans. So Marisa is driving to the meeting place in an unmarked car, instead of the highly visible and identifiable Scar van. That's being driven by Marissa's colleague Megan, who'll park it a distance away from the designated location and then join Marisa for the meetup. If all goes well, they'll drive the dogs back to the van and then take them to Scar.
When he initially came into our care, we just did a senior blood screen on him.
Back at Scar, Kylie is briefing Veronica from the ultrasound team on Homer.
I guess we're interested in liver, adrenals and urinary tract as well. Yeah, perfect. So that's all. And you'll see he's got his crazy little front legs as well, poor little guy. So, but that's...
He's a cutie.
You ready to come out? Come on. Watch the cone. There we go. Come on, buddy.
Wearing a bucket collar to stop him chewing on his stitches after his recent castration, Homer looks understandably nervous about his immediate future.
Just removing the cone so it's a little bit more comfortable for him. Hey, darling. It's okay. Good boy. Good boy.
But Davina's calm reassurance is helping him relax into the process.
We're just gonna apply some gel on your belly.
Good boy.
It's a little bit cold.
Which should take about half an hour.
That's it. Hello. Hi, darling.
When we get there, she's going to be waiting for us with the dogs. If you're happy...
On the way to assess 2 dogs being surrendered by a woman fleeing from domestic violence, Marisa has been joined by her colleague Megan.
So what's going to happen if we can't take the dogs in? So will she take them back today?
If we can't take them in, then she will be taking them back home and not leaving today. So I really want to try and take them in today if we can.
Once the dogs have been handed over, the woman will immediately need to go into hiding. So Marisa and Megan will only have this one chance to get all the information they need.
And do we know any vet history from them? Do we know if they're microchipped and
I
vaccinated?
believe from what she said, she was very panicked when I spoke to her, so I'm pretty sure that they're not desexed. They have been vaccinated, but they're not up to date, so we'll get that done as soon as possible. So straight still? Yep. Okay.
Coming up, things get emotional,
It's not fair. It's not fair.
and Charlie's battle to survive.
He's just such a fighter.
You don't want me to stop cuddling you, huh?
She's very calm.
He's lovely.
In the vet clinic, Homer's ultrasound is going smoothly. Bless you.
Good boy.
And that's the neck of the bladder. Just going to his prostate. Looking normal. There are no stones. You look good, darling.
No stones in here.
So far, so good.
He can do it.
0.35 looks good.
Now it's time for a closer look at his adrenal glands.
So that's the left adrenal gland there. We're just gonna measure it. And it's definitely enlarged.
Unfortunately, it's the same story on his right.
Very similar to the left one.
You've got big adrenals, darling.
The swollen glands could point to a serious condition that can affect older dogs.
He could be developing a disease called Cushing's or hyperadrenocorticism, where the adrenal glands are overproducing.
He'll now need a blood test to confirm whether he does in fact have Cushing's disease. The better news is that Veronica isn't seeing any masses or blockages anywhere.
That's his gallbladder. Looks really good.
Hey, sweetheart.
You're done, darling.
Well done, good boy.
However, he can't be to retreat just yet. Veronica has one more job to do.
Guided with the ultrasound, we're gonna take a urine sample.
She needs to collect a urine sample to test whether it still has any blood.
Here we go. That's it, good boy. Good boy,
You can see it in the
Homer.
screen there.
The needle pierces through his skin and through his bladder wall to collect a sterile sample.
And that's it.
At the age of just 4 weeks, this kitten is already a bath time veteran. It's been enduring daily dunks since it was found abandoned, weighing just 85 grams.
You're cute.
Too young to determine its gender, it stood very little chance of survival. So Marisa called in bottle baby expert Kat, who's been raising kittens by hand for 10 years.
Fingers crossed we'll do our best.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's in good hands.
And for 2 weeks, those hands have been very full keeping little Charlie, who turned out to be a boy, alive. Daily baths do the job of a mother cat in cleaning away dirt, bacteria and food that can cause fatal infections in such a tiny kitten. Drying and wrapping Charlie up warmly are equally vital.
They get hypothermic really easily. They can't regulate their own body temperature, so ordinarily they'd snuggle up to their litter mates and their mum, but obviously he can't do that.
Charlie may not have his own siblings to cuddle up to, but he does have a foster brother.
Nemo is my black Labrador. He's 9 years old and he's fantastic with the kittens.
But for all of Cat and Nemo's care, Charlie is still very small, and Cat is worried.
He's progressing much slower than a normal kitten would. He should be twice the size he is now for his age, and he's just very slow. We weigh him every day, and that's the moment where we hold our breath.
He should already be eating solids, but Cat still needs to hand feed him every 3 hours.
We need him putting on weight, so I'm trying to get as much food into him as possible.
The odds of Charlie making it may still be against him, but his battling spirit gives Cat hope.
This little guy, he just keeps fighting. He won't give up. So I won't give up on him because he is just such a fighter.
Let's go, guys. You're going to be okay. Let's go on an adventure.
Marisa and Megan are returning from a very emotional meeting.
Oh my God.
After carrying out a quick behavioural assessment, they've accepted 2 Labradors from a woman who needs to escape from a violent living situation.
All right, so we might need to get them in the back and then let's get down to the van.
Although that now means the woman and her child can flee to safety, it also means they will never be able to see the family pets again.
Can you hold him? Oh. So she's pretty much saying goodbye to her dogs forever, which is very sad. It's all right. Leave it on. Put it back on.
That was very, very hard. You just feel this woman just has nowhere else to go, and she loves her dogs so much. And she has to give them up. It's just not fair. It's not fair.
Oh, man.
Marissa's this rock all the time. She's strong. She hides her emotions very well. But me, I'm just a blubbering mess most of the time when it comes to anything sad or emotional.
The next priority is to transfer the dogs to the safety of the purpose-built van for the journey back to Scar.
Up, 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 up. Can you jump up? Oh, watch your head. All right, ready? These dogs have just been through an ordeal themselves. They know that their owner is upset. They sense that. Can you get the aircon on straight away? It's our job now to make sure that we try and make this transition as smooth as possible and that these dogs are calm and cool and relaxed. All right, I'll see you soon. All right, drive safe. See you soon.
Coming up, story time for Maddie.
Oh, you're very excited.
And bedtime for Jackson.
Oh, Schnorrer.
While Homer recuperates from the rigours of his ultrasound, Kylie is attending to the 2 Labradors that Marisa and Megan brought in. Having been handed over and transported to Scar in secret, it's vital to minimise the chances that the dogs can be identified and traced by the former owner's abuser.
Giving them new names helps with the de-identifying process. So new names, new start, they're now called Jackson and Abigail.
Clearly, it's been a traumatising time for the dogs, so Kylie is trying to make the experience as positive as possible.
Your tummy. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Good boy. Show me your face. I'm gonna get kissed in a second, am I? You gonna smush me?
But, as is often the case with surrenders, she has very little information to go on.
So if you're working in a private clinic, you'll have an owner bring the pet in and they'll be able to give you a rundown of what the animal's presenting for. We have no history about these patients, so I don't know whether they've had any health issues.
Both need to be desexed and have thorough checkups to identify and treat any underlying conditions.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, you ready for a little snooze? From my point of view, I want to make sure that they're healthy, and that's physically and mentally as well. A little bit more, mister. Oh, really? To make sure that we make them as healthy and prepared as possible to go out to their new home. All right, mister. Oh, Schnorrer.
Come here.
Don't jump on it. Seriously?
After their emotional call-out to pick up the two Labradors, Marisa and Megan have a much more enjoyable job to do.
We might look at doing some story time with animals where children can tune in every week or twice a week and listen to a story, sometimes about animals, sometimes not, but with an animal present. Hi.
And today, that's Maddie.
Maddie is one of our rescue doggies that we haven't found placement for just yet.
I mean, we love you, but we need to go home.
We're a temporary family. Good job.
As Scar has no budget for advertising, the team constantly need to think of new ways to keep supporters and potential adopters engaged.
I'm going to video Megan on the phone and then we can get it up online.
Oh, it's very exciting.
Marisa's always coming up with these crazy ideas to get these animals adopted and bring attention to what we do. And I'm usually the guinea pig for all of these things. And I love doing it because I'm such an outgoing person.
So we'll just get started while Maddie's gonna have a relax and some treats. What are you doing? Oh, good girl. All right, George's balloon.
I was a nanny, so reading stories and being enthusiastic and animated is quite easy for me.
There's so many animals that need homes.
Dine saw rock, says George.
And, you know, there's a lot of animals that don't get the attention that they should.
10 pounds, please.
And the animal gets their beautiful face out there, and then all of a sudden we have all of these applications pouring in for this one animal.
Ready? Ready. Oh, come on.
Maddie is such a sweet girl. She's just had a few false starts getting into homes. Maybe they weren't the perfect fit for her and she wasn't the perfect fit for them. She just needs someone that understands, and they just need to put a bit of work into her, which is like most of the dogs that we get.
George is very happy. He loves his balloon. Everyone loves George's balloon. Snort. The end. Oh, thank you.
I will do whatever it takes to get these animals a home. If sitting on a couch and reading some books or jumping around and dancing is what I need to do, then I'll do it.
Oh, you did so good. Good.
I think that's going to go down really well. I'd love to watch that if I was a kid.
I've had enough.
Coming up, Charlie hits the scales.
What is he, Tilda?
And Abigail and Jackson head home.
This is going to be fun.
The newly surrendered Labradors are recovering in the clinic after undergoing surgery.
They both had an anaesthetic today, both Jackson and Abigail, and their desexing was straightforward for each of them. Jackson had his castration, so that's fairly straightforward for boys. It doesn't take too long. He made a very quick recovery. I think there may be him chatting in the background now. Abigail as well, her surgery was very straightforward. Takes a little bit longer for girls. It's a bit more involved, but both of them went really, really well today and have made good recoveries and seem nice and comfortable, which is good.
But there will need to be some follow-up care for Jackson.
I thought his ears might be a little bit dirty, so that can indicate an ear infection. So we needed to double check that. He just has a lot of unusual cellularity in his sample. Abigail does have an ear infection, so we'll get her started off on some treatment for that. She's quite round also, so she'll be having a plan for diet, because obviously that's important for her overall health and relieve any pressure on her joints, etc. down the track.
As devastating as it must be for an owner to surrender a beloved pet, she hopes Scar can offer them some comfort.
We will take your little one from you, we will take the very best care of them that we can, and then find them a new home where they'll be well loved and looked after.
Hey, hon, how's it going?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Do you mind if we have 2 house guests tonight?
Not at all. That'll be fine.
To help Jackson and Abigail adjust to their new circumstances and get a better idea of their temperament, Marisa is taking them home for the night.
This is going to be fun. Who can jump up? Here, pop, pop, pop. Come on, pop, 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 pop. Stay there. I am very lucky to have such a wonderful and supportive husband. We've got a menagerie of 3 cats, 2 dogs, 3 children, 4 children with George, maybe. And he is very used to new visitors coming along. He's been amazing, and without his support, I definitely couldn't do what we do. All right, off you go.
What was he yesterday, Matilda?
160.
Over at foster carer Kat's house, it's weigh-in time for little Charlie. And Kat's daughter Matilda is in charge of record keeping.
We're hoping to see anything over 160. We just pop him in a little box there. Sometimes he's only been putting on a couple of grams. Some days he's been putting up to 10. We'd like to see 10 grams. I'd love to see 170, but I don't know, and that's why this is always the most nerve-wracking part of the day.
The moment of truth has arrived.
What is he, Tilda?
167.
167 grams. 7 grams on yesterday. Not as much as we would like to see, but it's progress. We'll take whatever we can get at this stage. And the main thing is he hasn't lost weight. That's the most important thing.
Next time on The Pet Rescuers, Marisa makes a dash for cash.
Hello. Thank you so much. It's very helpful. Thank you.
Little Daisy laps up the love.
I adore her. She's a sweetie.
And it's worming time for Charlie.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Scratch, 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 scratch. Listen to his leg. That's good scratching. I've got the right spot.